If you guys want to know how to draw this dead girl, stick around because I'll be showing you how. Let's go. The very first thing we are going to do today is obviously start with a basic shape. And today we're going to try and do a complete design. So if you are doing one, you can finalize it and then color in towards the end. Once the basic shape is in place, this sort of square-like shape, then put a center line in place because we want the character to be facing off in this way. Here I'm just going to make it a bit smaller because I wanted to fit the whole page. And I'm looking to do a page filler, so it'd be like an A4 page like that, so then you can go home, make prints of this, and even sell them yourself if you make a few changes and make it original. So here for the eye on the left, I'm going to do a small circle shape like this, acting as a socket. Keep the pencil super duper loose. Reason being is, let's just do this, ready? Bam, bam, bam. You may think, what is he doing? Is he crazy? Has he lost his mind? The reason I've done that is because with lines that are just randomly in place, I can then use later on to pick shapes out and use for my drawing. So let's do that shape one there. And the same goes here. You don't have to follow exactly. Draw a circular shape, which is the socket, and then I'm just going to throw some lines around it. Literally, there's no thought, just sketchy lines. The reason it's called a sketch is because it is meant to be sketchy, not perfect, and meant to just be a place for you to play around. Inside each socket, I'm just going to do a circle. Like so. I want it to be quite creepy, so I want the eyes to be viewing the viewer, almost like it's looking at you directly. And now here, I'm going to put a line across it to cut the circles off, which will be the eyebrow, and same here. Just like so. I'm going to double that line up, maybe play around with that shape. Shape one. And I want this coming in the same angle, like so. This just gives us a good place for us to build different shapes on and build a character up. Because I want the eyes, I want it to be in like this, in the socket, coming around. And with the socket, I'm just going to follow the in between there and do a few lines like around, following this shape, coming around. I want to keep this though, I like this line. Add those little circle things, I always do. These little circle things you don't have to add, that's just a stylized choice. I like, as an artist, I've just developed a style where I like certain things, like obviously the eyes never have normally, here they have, but normally they don't have a pupil, they're just blank. And these are just stylization choices that if you want, you can use, if not, don't use. Inside, I'm just doing smaller circles around, which is the center of the eye. I'm just going to black that in a little bit so you can see a bit clearer. And then you start to build up something that looks roughly like this. And I hope you can see how using these loose lines help you develop shapes. So with a loose line, I'm going to take that and then I can create that into an eyelid. Going around. And the same for here. You can use this as an eyelid. Maybe have that going up like so. And you start to create yourself these more dynamic shapes you wouldn't have had in the first place. If you're following along, you'll end up with something that starts to look like this, guys. Play around with it yourself. Obviously, I'm giving you the instructions, but if you want to add a few things at this point, you can go ahead. You might add some like tattoos on the face, a few lines around the eyes. That's entirely up to you. Once the eyes are in place, we're then moving in the nose. If you struggle with the nose, what we're going to do is just put a triangle, come to that center line from both angles. Boom. And now this will be the front of the nose. We're just going to triangle it off like this. So from those two triangles, we're just going to rest another triangle in there. And then we're just going to put some folds above the bridge of the nose. And already, from here we do a backward C. Coming across. And you'll end up with something like this. And then shade down from that line until you hit this triangle here. Don't worry about the nostril for now. We're just going to shade down. Ba, 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 ba. Keep going. For the nostril, we're just going to do a small C shape like this, guys, and that starts to build up the nose and the face. just like so. I kind of like this line here we accidentally put in earlier, so I'm just going to use that as an eyebrow. It's kind of different, it kind of curves down at the end, I like that. So for that it's just 2 lines coming across and down like so. And there we have it. At this point you end up with something that looks like this. And for this we want to make it look kind of like Chicano-y, like Day of the Dead. So where we had the sockets in place, I'm actually going to use the sockets for makeup or decoration. You can decorate yours however you like from this point. Obviously if you have a different decoration, you want it more skull-like, you can do so. If you want to just copy directly and take the lessons. I'm just going to put a socket around each eye. And then for this, let's do the eyebrow coming up, just to make it more like one eye is raised. So that's just the same shape, but here's off this side of the face. I'll give you a cool tip here though, is you want to imagine an invisible line coming from here, this point, and it's curving into the nose, like that. I'll draw it lightly from now. Because sometimes if you cut off your eyebrow just right, it can give the illusion that that shape is there, and gives this part way more sort of dimension, way more pushed back. Had a light hit in here. And around those skulls, we just draw that flowery thing a lot of the Day of the Dead girls have. If you're struggling with makeup, obviously use the internet. You can look at actual Day of the Dead girls yourself and figure out what kind of makeup they have. If you want it to be really traditional, just lean on the internet for inspiration or ideas. And we're just going to build that around the eyes. Like so. For the mouth here, the mouth is going to come down, so if you want from the lips, you can draw a curved line, and it's going to sit here in this box. First, we're going to start for the top lip, being a rectangle. Just like the bottom, we're also going to do another rectangle, but you've got to imagine the whole thing is in a box. The reason we do this is to realize that things are coming outwards towards the viewer. So this rectangle will be bigger here and smaller on this side, like this. It's got a big top lip, so we're just going to shade that in the shadow right now. Like so. From here it gets easier to assess where you want to connect the lower face. Here we're probably gonna be, the chin's gonna be about here. So what we're gonna do is just round that off, going back. We won't stick to this shape, by the way, guys. Like, we'll change it a little bit, but I'm just showing you. And the same here, like so. Just a curved line coming back to get to this point, and then come up. And then here I'm just going to put the same line, maybe a bit more closer in, so the face isn't as fat, making adjustments. And then we end up with something looking like this. And as you can see, it's starting to slowly come together. And always go what you feel right as well. I'm here showing you, but you might feel a few things different. Play around with your design. If you make it different enough, make some stickers out of it, make some pins, sell it off Etsy, and make yourself some dollar bill, yo. For the ears, I kind of like the ears poking out, so I always do these like square shapes. And that's stylized again. You can do ears in a multiple of different shapes, but if you're starting off with the base shape, you just want to put that down and build up from that. So I'm just putting these in here, but I want the hat coming across like so. For that base shape, we're just going to follow that around, and then we're looking to put some hair. So for the hair, I'm just going to cut her head off like this, and later we'll build some shapes around there. Okay guys, and now we start having the basic form of the head down and in place. Hair is such a cool element because it's got so much like flow you can add to an image, because look right now, it looks kind of stale, it's kind of stiff. But the moment you start adding some hair, so if we have like some curls coming down from here, just let the pencil drop and then curl at the end. You end up with that real loose line, like that. And then you can do the same on this side, maybe coming out a bit more, like so. Now I can start building up some hair up here. I want it to be sort of, so it's all tied back around the back of the head. So I put that shape in, and the exact same here, where it's like curls with these small rectangles. Always look how the basic shapes are going in first, and then I start building in detail. It's real loose, it just leaves it open to you to play around with, and you don't have to be so stuck in your way, and you can make changes as you go. I'm gonna maybe do some earrings here, or some skulls. See, circle again, stick with the base shape, make it so easy for yourself that it just becomes really easy to put things in place and make it, yeah, just simplified. And here again, a circle in place, just so I know there's gonna be skulls there later on as we build up on the design. Here she's got a hat, so looking for where the hat has a ribbon or like a bridge where it changes up to the top part. And here I'm just putting in a loose line, like across the head that way, and attaching to here. Like so. You can go really over the top right here, and you can start adding, I don't know, like feathers in the hat, add some flowers maybe, basic shape again, put a little twirl in the middle. Already you can see that's the shape of a flower, and then you can just put lines across and around. And for the feather, you can just do a line, and then obviously thicken up around, and add another curl in it, add another 3 loose line. It's really cool to have the loose lines next to the solid lines. Rough little circles around the eyes. Gives it something of a character, makes it more distinguished. I'll probably put another flower here. And then I'll just put in the back of the hat, right here. Just coming up like so. Really loose lines. Try not to commit to anything. Keep it loose, keep it flow. The minute you commit is when it starts to get harder. So many times, I'm sure you're aware of this, is you do the eye perfectly, and because you want it all to be perfect straight off the bat, you lose that looseness and then you get scared of ruining your drawing. Try and get over that as best you can. I know it's not easy, but once you do, you just open up yourself to be free, make new decisions and just new lines. The fact you're here right now is good enough. So now it's just a bonus that we're gonna put details in and learn as we work together. Put a few more lines around the hair, make it loose, make it a bit more quirky. It's got more of a rugged style now. Around the ears here, I'm just putting this line in. It's like a zigzag and then a line up, just to give more shape to that square. Pow, and then the same here. Add some more jewelry, these loose lines. I might actually add quite a lot of jewelry because she looks quite like gypsy as a traveller. And this is something I got to stress, is the story comes out now. You see what I'm saying there? Traveller, gypsy, boom. Next you might think, okay, so now what's she gonna be doing? She's gonna be casting a spell, she'll be playing with playing cards, like those tarot cards. And then you start creating your own little world from here with your own style. So really lean into your own imagination. Start the drawing and think of the story as you go and have fun. This is the whole point, is to have fun. If you're not having fun, you might as well back out now, because what's life without fun, eh? You're just gonna go and live a grey life. Ain't gonna be good, bro. Ain't gonna be good. Here, I'm gonna put that little nose makeup in. I'll make sure when I come to colour it, this will be black and obviously darker. Maybe add a few more like patterns up here. Should have already looked at more pattern work or the Dead Girls, that if I was to like do this like in real time, I'd obviously have probably Pinterest open or something like that, where I can see different makeup styles. But for this, I'm just going freestyle and putting in what I feel is right for makeup. Like that. And there's also gonna be lines above the teeth. I like the whole tarot card idea, so here we're gonna do hand one. Maybe playing with some cards. Actually, I'll read you that. I know what I'm going to do. If you want a whole tutorial on hands, there is one on this channel. You just go find it and then I'll go into depth. But it's basically this shape, which is breaking into 2 parts, and the fingers are coming out. Here I want to have like a playing card coming out. Like so. That's like hand number 1. And I'm just gonna pick this small square and then this kind of shape just to be the back, and it's in perspective, pushing his hand forward. And then I want to just add some more cards flying around before I've even added the body or anything else. Just some playing cards. I could add now cards all around the place. Because she's here, I kind of feel like that body needs a movement, so I'm going to draw like a body movement line coming from here and bending. This means that her chest is now like pushed forward. Okay, a rough ribcage shape in like this with the center line again. The center line will just divide this to left and right. This is to the left, this is to the right. And now it makes it easier for you to pin other elements like the shoulders. Which I kind of want to give it like, maybe like a corset look. So I'm just going to give it like a puffy shoulder pad. Pow. Just a basic shape. A bit messy there for now, but I'm just putting basic shapes in, and later on I can add those finer details when it comes to darkening up the whole image. Let's give her like a cigarette. Don't smoke though, don't smoke if you're watching this, smoking ain't good for you. And then yeah, there we have the top half of the image coming together. For this you can do like ruffles. Now it is literally just a point of figuring out what clothes you want to dress her up in. Here I want to give like a big neck brace. Maybe do like another skull on the neck here. Just a circle for now. The reason being is quite simplified is because I'm not looking to add detail everywhere. I already wanted the face being the central part and a few things around here which I can later add more detail. So just add placement. Where are we placing things for now? What are we trying to say to the viewer? That's what you should be thinking as we're moving forward. This hand, let's have her holding like a potion or something. So once again, it's just a square shape. Hands are a whole new tutorial, like I said before, in themselves. So I could be here all day talking about hands. But basically, for the potion, we're just gonna draw a circle where she's holding it, and then have the top coming up like this. And this also adds us the element of like, we can add it bubbling or something cool. Loose lines coming from that. And you end up with something like this, and it's coming together. You could do another skull on here. Pick your company logo, pick your artist name, something that's like a little Easter egg for the viewer. That's what I always like to do. And with that line, center line, we know that her stomach's here. Maybe give her a super thin waist, like almost, so it's not realistic. And then we'll just throw off the back of the corset like this. It's actually probably be behind the card if I'm honest. There. And then maybe a few flowers at the bottom here. And the front comes across here. Now this is the fun part. Now we're gonna box her in. So basically at the bottom, grab yourself a ruler, and that's where your design's gonna sit. A cool thing to always be doing is just to add outside elements. So look, the card here, we put another card, but make it overlap that line. So basically it's breaking the box. If I was gonna finalize this, I would not follow that paper we started with. I'd cut that in a little bit so the hat there is now overlaying the border. And the same for the top up here. I would put this line here so the top of the hat is breaking the border. This is a cool tip to make anything look super cool, super stylized, and almost make it look like it's breaking out. And I'll do the same here. So now you start judging the size of it after the fact and not before you started the drawing. So there you have it. That's your border. And now you have other elements inside where you can tell more of a story. Maybe here back you want like a chair or a table with items on, like different potions, like that. This is entirely up to you, but I'm telling you, but you guys can do your own thing here. You don't have to stick to what I'm doing. I like yours to look completely different, but with the same basic structure. So I really do encourage you just to think, oh, actually, I don't want the hat. I want more of the hair showing. I want more hair flowing down like this. You can do that. It's totally up to you. You are in control of the pencil and the design, and make it something you want to see at the end of the day. And that is basically all the foundation lines in place. What you want to do now, as always on this channel, go through it, add a few more details. I'm thinking, okay, what more lines here, more folds, just drawing, look, I'm literally drawing lines as well, folds. And then I'm like, okay, that's cool. Grab yourself a darker pencil now and go over the whole design, picking out the bits you want to keep and leaving out anything you don't want to keep. You're here, guys, you put in the work. If you made it this far, congratulations, because honestly, it's not easy turning up every day and putting in the work. So you're doing good. Just trust in yourself, trust in the process of turning up daily and creating, and it will come together before you know it. So time lapse, I'll talk to you towards the end about the final lines and a few things we could have done, maybe to make it better or just different. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen, that is the final result of today's video. I really hope that you have enjoyed the journey of coming along and just creating something new and putting your style out there and seeing what we can really pull together and create. As always, on this channel, I need to say thank you to everyone on the Patreon. You guys are enabling it so we can create these free lessons and tutorials and spread around the world. As always, I hope you've been well, keep creating, stay good, peace.